Somebody tell the boy Santa's real. Blue ain't playing about his presents. I knew the episode was sad, but not that sad. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Vlogmas Day 12. Literally the last day of Vlogmas. We did it, man. Me and you. I would just like to thank everybody who believed in me, the Lord, myself. 12 straight days of Vlogmas, and most of them were this cartoon series that we started. So even though Vlogmas is over, let me know if I should still continue the series. If I get about maybe like 5 people comment down below, I'ma continue the series. But anyways, today we're talking about Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, the Emmy award-winning show, and specifically the Christmas special episode. I watched it as a kid and I watched it today as an adult, and honestly, what we pay attention to is so different. So let's analyze the episode, and to do so, you know I got my notes. Because hi, my name is Chris S. I'm a YA contemporary fantasy author and the creator of my own indie comedy mystery cartoon, WKS. The pilot's out now. Go check it out and then come back here. But okay, the Foster's Home Christmas special. I'm about to give you a rundown for maybe like if it was a long time ago and you really need a refresher, I got you. Basically, it's about a boy named Mac and his imaginary best friend Blue, and they find out that Santa doesn't really exist. This leads to Mac crashing out like, no, Santa has to be real, while Blue's like, okay, even if Santa's not real, how we gonna get these presents? And that's the gist of it. See, that's the cliff notes. I'm not gonna do y'all like that. I'm gonna give you the whole full rundown. Let's get into it. Let's get into the play-by-play. Foster's in 5. Okay, so the episode starts on Christmas Eve and Mac and Blue go to the Foster's house and it's going to be their first Christmas there. Everybody's so excited until Mr. Harriman hops by complaining about Francis not paying the utility bills. He's acting like Scrooge, but then they reveal that every year he gets all the imaginary friends at least one present. Y'all know Blue won his presents. He start crashing out like, what? Call the FBI, call the CIA, call the police, where are the presents? But then Mac reminds Blue, we ain't got to worry about just one present because you know why? We've got Santa. Literally, Santa strolls in the front doors. Mac and Blue bowing like, oh my gosh, your Majesty. Then another Santa walk in and they like, what? How in the world? Wait a minute, this is getting a little creepy. Francis reveals that these Santas were all imagined because every year kids imagine Santa, and this leads Blue to believe Santa's not real. Meanwhile, Blue's still crashing out talking about the only present he's gonna get from Mr. Harriman is a pair of socks, and that's just not acceptable. Mac is like, Santa is not logical. It really doesn't make any sense. I know he doesn't exist because 1, he'd be too big to fit down the chimney. 2, he can't sail around the world in one day. And 3, Santa ain't got no way of making no brand name toys from the North Pole. Mac's starting to connect them dots. But Blue ain't really that convinced, so he's like, no, I'ma disprove this. Let's go get Eduardo. Let's put him down the chimney. That don't work. I'ma have Will sail around. He'll be back by the afternoon. That don't work. And then they go to the mall, talk about Santa's there every year. And they see Coco in a Santa suit. All the kids going crazy for Coco Santa until Mac trips over a lollipop and rips Coco's beard off. Everybody's in an uproar. Mac then ruined the folks' Christmas. This is when Mac and Blue both come to terms that, okay, Santa ain't real. Then Mac has some cryptic talk with the grandma and she talking about the truth will reveal itself soon. Lady, just tell me if Santa's real. Meanwhile, Blue's spiraling over the presents. He goes to Mr. Hammond's room in the middle of the night, talk about, I'm the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, so go ahead and get us these presents or get dealt with. This backfires and spooks Mr. Harriman, and soon Blue is calling Mac talking about Christmas is canceled over here. And see, that was Mac's 13th reason because he was really on edge already. So then Mac pleading, Santa, please just give me some underwear. Give me a pair of underwear so I know you're real. The next day on Christmas morning, Mac's mom and his older brother go knocking on his door talking about, come open your presents. Mac does. He doesn't get any underwear. Now he's really devastated. He really needed some counseling on that one. But then long story short, Mac goes to Foster's. Santa magically came. Mac gets his underwear. Blue gets coal. And happily ever after. Okay, now let's get into these characters. First, which character stole the show? Easy, Blue. Blue was the funniest one, and it's not even a funny type of show, but Blue was the funniest one out of everybody. So I would say he was the star. Because when he found out Mr. Harriman was only getting them one present, he was like, call the police, bring in the National Guard, contact the CIA. Just dramatic. Dramatic for no reason, and I love it. Then at the end, when he got coal, he looked up and he was like, just you wait, fat man. Soon I shall have my vengeance. The fat man part was funny. I actually chuckled. But comment down below, who was your favorite character in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends? Next, which character needed a whooping? Terrence. And if you don't know who Terrence is, that's Mac's older brother. He was calling Mac loser and then throwing them balls with the thing. That could have poked that boy's eye out. Terrence, he was off the rails. Now, mind you, I don't even remember Mac mama being a single mom. So where was the daddy at? Terrence needed some disciplinary action. Looking like he eat crayons for breakfast. Like he bites people. Which character deserved better? Mac. And Mac is a sweet boy. I really wanted him to have a phenomenal Christmas. He don't do nothing. He stay out the way. He don't really feed into his brother's nonsense. And all the boy wanted was some underwear. And finally, which character was underrated? The grandma. But the grandma, because she was obviously the reason they had that big Christmas at the end at Foster's. Because earlier in the episode, she talking about, oh, the truth will reveal itself soon. And at the end, she kind of weaks, gives this mischievous smile. That lady put on that whole Christmas party. So the grandma was the real real MVP of the episode. That little lady made a Christmas miracle. Okay, now this brings us to the actual show. And here's what I noticed watching this Christmas special of Foster's as a kid versus as an adult now. First of all, let's start with Coco. And here's my little conspiracy theory about Coco, because you know I got some cartoon conspiracy theories, which I'm gonna get to because y'all requested in the comments. But I'm gonna just give you a quick one about Coco. Notice how all the other characters speak normally and Coco's speaking gibberish and Coco. I really think that's because she's speaking adult. Here's what I mean by that. In the episode when Coco was playing Santa and then Mac came and ripped her beard off, she was mad at Mac and then Mac was chasing after her like, Coco, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you needed that job to pay off your vacation home. Vacation home? Coco had properties. Coco was into real estate. Honestly, she probably played Monopoly in her free time. That was a businesswoman. Wrap it up. Then at the end of the episode, when Foster's had this big Christmas party, Mac was like, Coco, you're talking to me. You're not mad at me anymore. And Coco was like, and Will translated saying her wrongful termination suit was settled in her favor. Wrongful terminations? This is a businesswoman. Coco was probably a lawyer too. Coco got stocks, real estate, a law degree. Coco was too mature, so I think that's why they made Coco speak gibberish. Kind of like Schnitzel from Chowder, but see, y'all not ready. Let me know. Comment down below if you want my cartoon conspiracy theory video. So anyways, that's my theory with Coco, that Coco kind of embodies this adult. However, when I watched Foster's as a kid, I just thought Coco was crazy, and Coco was my favorite because Coco was crazy. Next, we need to get into Mac's mom, because when I was younger, I really did not notice that Mac's dad was not there. Where was he? Literally in the episode, it's just Mac, Mac's mom, and Mac's brother. And watching that as a kid, because the family is, it's not the focus of the episode, I guess I didn't notice it. But as an adult, as soon as I saw Mac home and then his family in the picture, that's the first thing I noticed. Comment down below if you picked up on that too. And I want to know why Mac's bed was a bunk bed. Does Terrence sleep up there? Because I really don't remember. But Mac was talking to himself and Blue on the phone late last night, so Terrence is not in that room. So why does Mac have a bunk bed? Who is taking care of him? What is Mac's mama? See, I got all these questions about Mac. And the last big difference I noticed watching this episode as a kid versus an adult was the whole Santa Claus premise. Now, as a kid, obviously I believed in Santa, but I don't remember at this time watching the episode if I knew the truth or not. But I enjoyed the premise, like Santa is wonder, Santa's magical, Santa's real, Santa's symbolizing these great things that happen around the holidays. So I just enjoyed the episode and obviously was rooting for Mac to find the holiday spirit. But now as an adult watching it, my main concern that I'm thinking of is how do you even break that news to a kid? Because I have no idea. At some point, they're going to find out that Santa doesn't exist. Now, whether that happens in the home or at school, that varies depending on the child, but like, how do you as a parent deal with that? Because his mom was kind of taken aback, like, why isn't Mac as happy as he is every year on Christmas? And low-key, I kind of feel her, because how do you even handle that? Why did my son want underwear on Christmas? Just to approach that topic, I thought that episode was so well done. So as an adult, I'm kind of analyzing it in this way, as opposed to being a kid and just enjoying the Christmas special. Because yeah, I don't know what I would do. I mean, I would just ride the whole Santa thing until, hey, the wheels fell off. But comment down below, how would you break Santa not being real to your hypothetical kids? Because I know some folks are like, I'm Santa. I bought all these presents, okay? But that's all the time we have for today's video. If you enjoyed this cartoon video analysis and laughed, then you're gonna love my comedy mystery cartoon, WKS. The pilot is out now, so go check that out next. Oh, and one more thing I just remembered was, remember at the beginning with Mr. Harriman talking about those utility bills and Francis didn't pay the utility bills? He said she was out shopping, but I think Francis was out with some man. Francis giving me she was out her boyfriend. Because Mr. Harriman says she forgets every year, just like last year she forgot to pay the bills. See, I would have had Francis on probation. Where's she at? We gotta pay these bills. Hit that like button, subscribe for more cartoon videos. Again, comment down below if you enjoyed this cartoon video analysis series too, guys. Because Vlogmas is over, but if 5 people comment down below, I'm gonna keep this series going, y'all. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!